record now so I can make sure it works. Okay, it does. Thanks, Melissa. Okay, so we have 4 of us. I don't know. Get out of this stupid participants thing. Okay. I don't know who else is gonna get on, but in the effort of not being here for like till like 9:30 tonight, let's just get going. So I apologize. I haven't been on the last 2 calls. One because I forgot it was Monday, and then last week I ended up being on a plane during the call when I wasn't supposed to, but I went to the airport without my passport, so that really sucked. So I had to come back home, go back to the airport for a later flight, and then my flight was delayed, so I didn't make the call. So I know Katie and I had talked about going over some things last week, and I looked at the recording, and I don't think that you guys went over those things. You guys did a post-summit recap last week, right? Okay. I wanted to make sure I was watching the right call.
Actually, and then we did like a Super Saturday recap.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if that was on the same call. Okay.
Okay, so like open to whatever you guys want to go over today, but I had a couple ideas of some things to start talking about, and then we can open it up or have a dialogue or whatever. Obviously, I'd rather have this be a dialogue than me talking, because me talking. One of the things when I came back from Summit that one of the big takeaways, there was this post-Summit recap video, which actually, I don't know if any of you guys watched it. It was that event that Katie had invited us to, and he had all kinds of like technical issues on the call, and finally went through. But one of his pieces of advice was to take like one thing, like one standout piece of information or tidbit that came from your event, and this could be for any event, but for Summit in particular, and build a plan around that. So the one thing that I took away from it was, Melissa, I think you and I were in the same one. They said, like, take 90 days and just go all out. Like, do what you're supposed to do for 90 days in a row and see what type of growth you have just from that. I mean, you could scale it down. You could do it 30 days. Like, and just if you do exactly what you're supposed to do for those 30 days, and I'm not saying 100%, no one's ever 100%. Like, take perfection out of the equation. But if you do what you're supposed to do for, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and then you see what type of results you get from that, or what type of momentum you get, just, from, I think all of us, and Katrina and Kelly, I can't really speak for you. I don't know you as much, but I know Melissa and I have had conversations, and Katie and I have had conversations where we're like hot and cold, like we like work really hard. And then it's like, okay, yeah, we totally just overworked, and now we need a complete mind break. And then we don't do anything for like a week. That's how I am. And I want to get out of that habit, because I know it's not, it ruins the consistency that people need to see from me. So one of the things that I was telling Katie and I are both kind of the same on our power hours. Like, we feel like we can't do like the 3 vitals every day. I mean, of course we work out, we drink our shake, blah, 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 we prove the product works. Listen to PD, I pretty much do that on a regular basis. But like inviting, doing like 5 invites a day and 5 friend requests a day, and the 5-5-3-2 or whatever. I don't do that on a daily basis. I'm really bad at it. I know my business would be 100% different if I did do that. But I've tried to do it before, and I like burn out. So I was trying to figure out something that worked for me. And because Katie and I are similar, I took this idea and we made it into something, 2 brains are always better than 1. So what we were talking about is that we do things in chunks. Like on a Saturday, I'll go on like send private messages to like a ton of people. On like a Wednesday, I'll go and like friend request a ton of people. Like, and I'll do things in chunks so where I'm getting the same amount of activities done throughout the week, but I'm doing them in like things that I think it's just a mind trick. Like things that I feel are more easy for me to do. If I have a list of like 10 things, that's overwhelming to me. If I have a list of like 2 or 3 things, free activities that I need to do, okay, cool, I can get those done. So that's just how my mind works. So what I wanted to go over today with you guys was maybe a couple of different ideas for how you can take the activities that you need to do in your business and put it into a schedule that works for you. Because something that works for me may not work for you. And if you've tried Power Hours and they're not working for you, then change it up and do something else. Like, we don't all have to run our businesses the same way. We don't have to run our businesses the way that top 10 coaches or whoever else, like, this is all of our businesses, so do it your own way. So I just wanted to show you this. You probably can't see my screen yet because I'm really slow. Okay, so I'm also a very visual person. So one of the things that I wanted to do was like flashcards. I remember when I had to like learn things at school, or I work for an interior trim company, so when I had to learn all our molding profiles like 8 years ago, I made flashcards. Like, that works for me. So what I made is just flashcards. I'm gonna actually get these printed out and laminated, and that way I can actually, like, I like the physical feeling of checking something off. So I can check them off, and then I could just wipe it clean for the next week. So what I did is I made a list of activities that I'm going to do every day, and then I made different activities by the day, and I kind of themed my days together. And all I started with was I just brainstormed a whole list of activities that I needed to do more consistently in my business. And so then I just grouped them together. Katie and I grouped them together, and we made these cards. Okay, so on the top of, can you guys see this okay, or should I make it bigger? Good? Okay. So on the top of the card is the things that you're going to do every day regardless. There's 6 things, but they look pretty, I mean, they're pretty easy. You do them every day anyways. I see you guys. I see your posts. I know you're doing them. So you work out, no brainer. Shake, no brainer. 15 minutes of personal development. I can get better at doing this every day. I think that I have to do like, oh my God, I have to sit down and read this whole book. That's not realistic. I can sit down for 15 minutes and read something or listen to a podcast or whatever, but actually sit down and take the time to make some notes about it. And I'll talk about that in 1 second. Post my like page. I'm pretty consistent on this, except for last week. I just feel like I was not inspired. You know why? Because I wasn't working out. And I'm not inspired when I'm not working out. Check in with your challenge groups and then coach group check-ins. So either with Goon Squad or once you have a downline, that will come into play. So Mondays is back office days. That's where I'm going to go in and I'm going to see my new customer leads that came in, and I'm going to email them, welcome them, follow up with them, whatever I need to do. I'm going to check customer orders and message them. What I like to do is when customers, I like to like sort it by the date of the order and start at the ones that their order's about to re-up and message them. Like if they're Shakeology HD, and then message them about coaching, or message them about, you know, getting them into bot or whatever. So check customer orders and message them. Check downline status and message them if needed. So just check any coaches, if they're about to go inactive, message them. So pretty easy. Every day I'm also going to send people birthday wishes on Facebook, because that's important to build, to keep building those relationships. So those are my Monday activities. Tuesday, same thing on the top. Tuesday is all about new friends. So I'm going to go in and look at people who accepted my new friends the last time I went through and did friend requests. Friend requests is actually another day. So kind of a little bit tricky, but this is the way that I grouped it. So I friend request one day. On Tuesdays, I come in and I look at all my friend request people who accepted them, and I add them to a Facebook list. That was another thing that they talked about at Summit, was how to group people together so that you could only look at their newsfeed action. On which I was like, God, how great is that? I know I've heard it before, but why haven't I put it into play? It seriously takes 2 seconds to make a Facebook list. Just Google it, how to make a Facebook list. And now I can just focus on those people's news feeds and instead of getting stuck in my news feed, which I do all the time. update my Facebook list. So I have a coach list, I have a current challenger list, I have a new friends list. So those would be my 3 newsfeed channels that I would look at. Now, my coach newsfeed channel, I'm actually going to look at during a different day, and my challenger one during a different day. So this one, I'm only looking at one Facebook feed list, which is my new friends. And then CCQ off of your Facebook lists. So once you made those Facebook lists, then you just go through their newsfeed, comment, question, compliment. That's all. And you go through that. Done, right? I mean, that day is pretty short. Wednesday activity. And you guys pipe in like whenever you have something to say, a comment, question, whatever, obviously. Wednesday is all about giving my coaches love. This is one thing that I've kind of been bad at. Like, I just feel like I give my challengers so much love, and then when they become coaches, I'm like, okay, like, just come on with me now, instead of like continuing to give them love. So this is one thing that I wanted to make sure that I devote a day to. Give your coaches some love. That's just in that, in private messages, in their CCQing on their news feed, whatever. And then make it a coach spotlight post on your like page. So I actually made one the other week about Donna. I really don't have a lot of active coaches, so it's going to be a little hard for me to make a coach spotlight all the time. But what we can talk about is we can talk about each other. We can talk about us as a team of coaches, as a coach spotlight. And that's just going to continue to show your Facebook audience, that you are a team of coaches. So we can do that with each other. Thursday, personal invites. So that's when I'm actually going to have my personal conversations with everything. One of the things that I did the other week that really turned into something really great for me was I just went and I sent personal messages to people thanking them for supporting my like page. So I think I just got a message. I don't know how to work Zoom, guys. So if you're chatting on here, I guess I have to pull this up. Chat.
It's not that important. It was me chatting because my kids are screaming in the background, so I didn't want to unmute me.
So one of the things I did the other day is I just went through and I personal messaged like 10 people that have been like liking on my like page regularly, commenting on my like page, and I can actually pull up what I said to them. Because I have zero memory for this kind of stuff. Oh, that's not what I want. You guys can still see my screen, right? Oh. Oh, come on. Where's my messages? I don't know how to use Facebook, apparently. Let me see if I could just scroll through and find her. Oh, here's one that I messaged. Like, we've had a pretty long message since then. Okay, so this is what I said. Hey, Jennifer, I just wanted to reach out and say thank you. I see you liking my post on my fitness page, and it means so much to me to have the support. I know we share some common interests when it comes to fitness, and so if there's anything that I can ever help you with, please let me know. Would love to have you join one of my challenges. That's it. Like, really, my point was just like to reach out and say like thank you. Continue to like my page and comment on it. I really appreciate it. And I didn't think a lot about those messages. I just thought it would be that, and that's it. Every single one of them turned into conversations about challenge packs and what is it that I do, and what are my challenge groups like. And I was like, what? Like, I can't believe you actually wanted information. I was just trying to say thank you. So thought, okay, I need to do that more often. So that's what I mean by personal messaging thank yous. And then personal message invites to 20 prospective challengers and then 10 prospective coaches. And again, once you have like what you want to say, you just vary it up a little bit for that person. Like for Jennifer, for instance, I know that she's running and things. That's why I said I know we have common interests in fitness. someone that I don't know if we have common interest in fitness, I would say like, maybe we have common interest since you like my page or something like that. You know what I mean? I would just switch it up for whoever I'm messaging a little bit. But once you have like that general message that you want to send people, it's really easy to duplicate it. So that's Thursday, all about personal invites. And that's not, I also work like Thursday, I feel like is a great day to invite. So that's why I want to do all that stuff on that day. I feel like when I invite people on like Tuesdays, it like falls on deaf ears. So you'll find out what's best for you, but that's why I grouped them on certain days for a reason. On Friday, I feel like no one ever responds to your messages. So I do friend requests on Friday. Just go in, clear out the old friend requests, add 20 to 30. I put on here 20 to 35. I actually was Googling how many friends you can request on Facebook before you get like put in jail, Facebook jail. And 20 seems to be like the number. So I wouldn't go over 20. And then add them to a tracking list to follow up on Tuesday. And all up that I implemented was a simple Excel spreadsheet, and I can show you guys that too. Saturday, I do a challenger spotlight because that's usually when we're doing like our stats or things like that in our challenge group. They've usually made it through a full week or their second full week or whatever. And then I can do a challenger spotlight, much like that coaching spotlight on my like page. And then CCQ on that Facebook list of current challengers. And then I was really bad at this. I really suck at getting to the post office. So if I have like one day where I have to like, okay, I need to like sit down and write out some thank you notes or write out like encouraging notes to my challengers, or send them prizes or whatever, I have one day to do that. So it just like clears my mind of like having too many things to do. It helps me to keep to 3 things a day, just 3 things. And then Sunday, I love to take Sundays off. I'm not going to quit taking Sundays off. But every other Sunday, I've committed to updating my tracking. So I have Google Streak installed, and I took quite a bit of time to install it and set it up, but I have not been maintaining it. So I know that if I want to do that, I have to keep on it at least once a week. So that's what I've set aside every other Monday for, or Sunday. And then I want to do more like boosted ads. So I'm going to choose a post from the previous week to boost an ad or run an ad from. And then Sunday's a good day for planning. So creating content for these calls, making sure that we're adding value to you guys, and just making sure that we're set up for the week ahead. So that's how I split things up. I want to show you guys. Oh, I wanted to talk about the 15-minute personal development. The reason why that's important to do, and one of the things that I listen to personal development all the time. I listen to podcasts when I'm getting ready. I listen to them on my way to work. A lot of times on my way home from work, but it's never in a space where I'm like can sit and write things down. So like one post a day, I want to get to being from my personal development. And so if I can sit down for 15 minutes, which is really hard for me, I swear I have ADD. It's like adult onset ADD. I never had it when I was little. But if I could sit down for 15 minutes and listen to something or read something and then be able to make some notes about some ideas for posts, then I can start using that and like even scheduling those posts out, because I need to do more scheduling of posts out so that it makes it easier for me to get them done when like I'm, away, when I'm traveling for work or whatnot. That's when it's really hard for me to get my posts done. So that's all on that. Does anyone have any questions?
No, that's amazing.
Yeah, I really like it.
Really, really good. What I found myself doing, because I've been so, like when you say scheduling post, I found myself going back and looking through like really old, like a year or two things that I did like right when I was on fire and I was in SC10 every month, and I just couldn't, I was holding people off to the next month because they were I was on fire. Like I wanted it so bad. And so I found myself going back. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to post today. So I go back and I'm recycling those posts and just tweaking a couple words.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll go from my like page to my personal page, and I'll cross them over. So like, you know, so I found myself doing that because I get so in a rut. I'm like, I got to post something. What am I going to post? And I'm working, so I'm like on my phone working, scouring Facebook, like, what can I say? I got to say something. So I go back to those ones that did really well like a year ago.
Right.
And I just recycle them. But I need to get into like the scheduling thing, because that way I'm not so stressed and, you know, doing 15 things at one time. But I love this.
Right. Even like just scheduling one post a day and scheduling it out, like taking, you know, like if you don't have a downline yet, I mean, I really don't have a downline. I mean, I have a bunch of discount coaches. So my coach day, I could definitely take some time there and schedule out posts from that Wednesday to the following Wednesday, just 1 week ahead, and schedule out one post a day. And if I can take some notes from my PD, like I envision keeping a little PD journal, you know, and having like all these little tidbits of the things that I write down. Hey, they're in my personal development. And then I just scratch it off when I posted about it. You know what I mean? That's what I need to do. And just scheduling out that one post a day, because then it's like, okay, at least I showed up. Like, at least I showed up once today, you know? Like, if all mayhem goes crazy, then at least I got that done. I was going to show you guys, but I built this last week, and I don't really remember where I put it. But I did make a tracker finally. I had tried back and forth making different trackers, and like just none of them were working for me. I work like all the time in my work email, so hold on 1 second. Let me just and oh, then I was going to show you guys this. Okay, so these are in the same size as actual index cards. So they're 5x3. They're small. And like I said, I was going to get them printed off. And then I made some little like inspiring quotes for the back side of them. A moth just flew by my head. But like things that inspire me, and of course they're color coordinated because I'm psycho like that. And I'll get those printed on the back. And it's just like a little, I don't know, a little fun reminder of like, I don't know, why am I doing this? So if you guys want these, I'd be more than happy to share them with you if you want to go get them printed out. But I would definitely encourage you to even just take the template and make them what works for you. Because the things that I do on a daily basis might not work for you, or those days don't work. Like maybe you work and you're really busy on Saturdays. You're really busy on Sundays.
Template, Lisa?
What?
Are you able to send the template?
Yeah, like I'm able to share it if you have Canva.
Yeah.
I've never shared it, and I've never had someone share one with me, so I don't know what they look like when they share. I've shared it with Katie, but
Right.
Melissa, what's your email? I'll send it to you and you can check it out.
Getfit, GETFIT at Melissa Sewell, SEWELL.com.
Like, did I get that last name right?
You're good.
Okay, so you could check it out and see what it's like. This is just the one, but I'll send you the other one too.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And let's just test that with Melissa, guys, and then if it works, I'll just send it out to all of you, okay? That's a cool email address.
Thanks.
Okay. Oh, I was looking for that tracker. Sometimes I don't know where I save things. This is half my problem. Okay, here it is. Let me pull it up on my other screen. Okay, can you guys see this? My screen sharing is paused.
There it goes. It's coming.
Now can you share it? Or now can you see it? Give me a thumbs up when you can see it. You can see it. Okay, cool. So I was like pen to paper for a while, and I would just put in the little side notes, like what month I was going to follow up with them. And it was great now, but it didn't work for me forever. And I realized, like, okay, I do want to be like a real business, so I can't use like pen and paper forever. So I'm going to have to get to something that's a little bit more sustainable. So I just made a simple spreadsheet, and I just put what I wanted on here. So I just wanted their name. I wanted the month, just the month, not the date, because I'm not going to get down to dates. Just the month of when I contacted them. What type of, I have a couple different types of challengers that are in here. Like if they're in a BOD group, are they a coach? Are they a current challenger, former coach, because I've had plenty of those quit. Someone who's done a free group or was interested in a free group, a lead that didn't respond, a lead that was verified, or a target, like someone who I really want on my team. And then interested in or has done a free group, a challenge group, a coach, like page, other, or BOD. And then what level are they in? Am I just forming them, or have I invited them? Those two are really the two that are most important for me. I've seen trackers, and I've tried to track like a bunch of different things. I just wanted to keep it simple, because I just want to know, am I still in the forming process with them, or have I already sent them an invite? Because nothing is worse than when you send someone an invite and then you send them an invite again and you like have no idea that you already invited them. It's really embarrassing. And I can't just keep scrolling up through the whole message and read the whole message chain. So I'm like, all right, that doesn't work for me either. So I just put some notes in here and then follow-up date. And some of them I put a more exact date, like, okay, like I'm in the middle of a forming conversation with them. I need to follow up with them soon. And some of them I just put like October, you know, like someone's pregnant, right? So, okay, I'll just follow up with them at some time in December. Like, they're not doing anything right now. So those kinds of things. And I tried to put some of my coaches on here too, ones that I've already identified as have some good potential in my downline that I want to keep in contact with too. And I just want to make sure that I note that they are one of my coaches, because it's a different approach that I would take with them. I would never want one of my coaches feel like I'm trying to sidestep them. So anyways, this is just, I just, you know, made a list of a bunch of people, and I'm trying to keep better notes on everyone. And then I have it sorted by month. So the last time that I contacted these people was in May. So when I'm going to come up, now I can pull up my May group or whatever. I just started the list. So obviously there's some people that I haven't contacted since the beginning of the year. So I have a lot of people to still cycle through. So again, that was just for me, like I'm trying to get back to, okay, what do I need to be doing on a regular basis, and how can I get myself better organized so that I can do it? I think getting yourself organized is really important, but also not getting stuck in the rut of just working on organization so much that you actually don't do anything, which is what I feel like I did last year after Summit. So I'm trying to just like organize a little bit, enough to like get me moving and then move. So I think that was all that I had for you. Okay, cool. I have your emails now. So Melissa, maybe when you get a chance, check.
I just checked it. It's perfect.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Let me open it. It logged me right into Canva, and then I was able to highlight it and change. Just click on, and I was able to change it.
Okay, so I wonder if you change it on mine. Probably not, right?
I don't think it would change it because I'm logged in as me.
Okay.
So it shouldn't.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because then I would just save it. Take a.
Okay, so I will email those out as soon as we're done. I don't want to take up the time on this call to do that. Um, so a couple of things that I wanted you to maybe look into that I've just looked into recently. I was just like writing down a couple different ways since I've been a coach of what people have brought up as how they're tracking. Paul, what's going on? Okay, so one of them is Excel, pen and paper, obviously, flashcards, like I just showed you, Streak, which if you haven't seen that, I think Katie posted a video about that in the Goon Squad. And then another one is called Teamzy. Has anyone seen that? Team ZY. Look that up. Google that when you have a minute. There's a informative video about it, and then there's actually a free trial that doesn't require a credit card or anything. I haven't done my free trial yet. It's a 30-day free trial, but it looks pretty interesting on how you can keep track of your customers and your conversations. And what it actually does is it actually gives you the, like, you rate your customers, okay? If they're like a 1 through 5. And if they're a 1, like, you want to follow up with them regularly. If they're a 5, you don't, or vice versa, however it rates them. But if they're a 1, if they'll put them in your rotation automatically at the right level that they should be, how often you should be following up with them. If they're a 5, they'll do the same thing. So it's pretty cool. If you really have a hard time with how often you should keep in contact with someone, I think Teamzy is awesome for that. So I thought it was really cool. I think I'm going to try it. I just don't want to get bogged down in trying a bunch of different things at the same time, which I've done before. But if you guys are looking for something else and really struggling for ways to keep on track with, you know, getting your business activities done, that might be another thing that you want to check out. So that's really all I had. I just wanted to give you guys some food for thought on power hours and how to get your business activities done. Because I know that was definitely something that I struggled with. What else? Do you guys have any questions or anything else that you guys want to go over as a group?
No, that was fantastic for me.
Okay, good. I know this is something I really, really struggled with last year. I was just like in like analysis paralysis about like, oh my God, I need the best way for how to be organized before I can do anything. And it's so stupid. But I definitely don't want anyone else to feel that way. I think it's a normal feeling. But it kind of keeps you from doing anything. You just got to kind of get to a spot where you can, all right, I'm a little bit organized. I can work with this for a while, you know, whatever works, like pen to paper. I was like, okay, this is what's going to have to work for right now. And I just did it until I found something that I felt like would work better for me. So switch things up. Don't feel like you have to do 5-5-3-2 every day. I think that's a lot. So, and some of those power hour lists are like a mile long.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I love it. It's so organized. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very
just
it's a good way to, you know, track things and, you know, kind of just check them off as you go. I really like that approach to it as opposed to like overwhelming. And I've felt that way, you know, what do I do? What do I say? I don't have anything new or inspiring to say. So good ideas. Yeah. Very good ideas.
Yeah, I think that just that personal development, like you can all, I mean, I don't know if you guys are like me. When I'm listening to them, I'm like, oh, I gotta remember that. Oh, I gotta remember that little, like, that little quote or that little, it just like makes my mind keep going as I think of things. So I just need to be able to do that when I'm someplace that I can write them down.
I joined it was kind of on a whim with my photography. I'm part of a guild, and so one of our photographers kept posting about this 5 a.m. book club. 5 a.m. I'm like, shit, I ain't get up at 5 a.m. He was like, no, we meet at 6. I'm like, okay, well, I used to work at 6. I have to get up at 6:30 to get Caitlin off to school anyway. So I joined this 6 a.m. book club. And so everyone reads the same book. And like next year or the next book that they're working on is how to win friends and influence people. by Dale Carnegie. So I'm super excited about that one. But everyone reads kind of like a chapter or two at a time. And then that morning they get on and they kind of discuss their takeaways. And so you kind of just feel it out. No, this is what I took from it. This is what I took from it. This is what I'm going to do with it. This is what I'm going to do with it. So it actually is. It's actually, I'm like, oh, I kind of like this. I don't like getting up that early, but.
Well, yeah, and if you like have that downtime to like rethink about things, like I've listened to that book on tape. Couldn't really tell you what I retained from it. I also listened to how, what's his name, the morning ritual guy.
Oh, the Miracle.
Yeah, Miracle Morning.
Miracle Morning.
Because I'm like, oh, I have a 4.5 hour plane ride today. Cool, I'll get this whole book done. Like, it's like something to check off my list, not something to like get something from. Just so messed up. So I'm like, yeah, listen to that. Check. Like,
Yep.
What did I retain from it? What do I have to like to share with people from it? So I just want to get into a different mindset of just doing a little bit at a time and not having to like bite off these huge chunks of things, because then I don't get anything from it. I mean, if I'm doing like the 5-5-3-2 every day, then I feel like I get stuck in those same first 5 conversations, and it's like they never end. I just keep wanting to go back and, re-stoking that fire or asking them another question or whatever.
Right.
And so I feel like doing it in a big group, then I'm in my game, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm answering this person. I'm like the whole bottom of my screen lined up with messages. But that's how I work well. Like, I don't work well with just doing the same thing every day. I get really sick of mundane tasks. So that's what works for me. All I'm saying is find things that work for you. Don't feel like you have to do it the same way someone else does.
No, I think what you gave us tonight was a huge start. It was a huge kick in my ass, because I was sitting there like, I really need to get on a schedule. I was telling Chris, I was like, I really got to get like on a schedule, because now the kids are back in school. I have a cheer practice, and then pick Caitlin for cheer practice. We got Nathan in football practice till 8:30, and you see me, I was just now eating. It's 9 p.m.
Yeah.
It's 9:30 at night here, and I'm just now eating dinner. Like I'm losing my mind.
But also, when you do have that time and you go to sit down, knowing exactly what you're doing, and it not being a list that isn't attainable in small chunks of time. You know what I mean? You take up something like that. Okay, email new leads. That's all that I have time for, these 15 minutes that I have. The next 15 minutes, I'll do this next bucket.
Right.
Next 15 minutes, I'll do this next bucket. But I don't know. For me, it was just a lot more a lot less to chew off.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. Good job. Great job.
All right, that's all I had for you guys. I don't want to keep you a ton, and I'm not a big filler talker, so I like to get right to the point and get it over with.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank
I hope
you.
this was useful for you guys, and
Very.
let me know. I'll share that stuff. I also have there was something in our Diamond group. I don't know if you guys listened to Rosa's National Wake Up Call yet today. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm going to listen to it tomorrow. But there was a graphic of some takeaways from her call, so I'll post that in Squad. And hopefully I feel like it's the relevant pieces when I finally listen to the call, because I don't like posting something I don't feel like, yeah, this is the good stuff. But anyways, maybe it's good stuff. So that's it.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Lisa.
Bye.
Yeah, you guys are welcome.
All right. Good night.
Have a good night.